Everyone, my name is Ankit Kumar Patel. I'm going to the walkthrough of the code base that I have wrote for the project grad-695. So before jump into the code base, let me introduce the application, what it does and what is it all about. So this application is based on the e-commerce domain. So this application allows admin to create, modify, update and delete the customer products and categories. It also allows the customer to view the products and it details. For the technology wise, I'm using Eclipse as a IDE, MySQL as a database, and for the programming language, I'm using Java, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and jQuery. So this is the class diagram of the database object layer that I'm using. So it has a generic DAO and the JPA DAO. So all the functionality of these two have it is being gathered by the category DAO, product DAO, user DAO, and customer DAO. So what is the JPA DAO? Let me jump into the code base. So JPA DAO here. So this class has a basically I'm using the Hibernate framework. So to connect the to communicate the database with my application. So this for the Hibernate, I'm using the entity manager factory, which invoke the product store DB, which is the database name, and when it call it, so it will invoke the persistence.xml file. So in this file, there is all details to connect the database we needed is here. So there is a database name, product store DB, and this is the URL of the database. This is the ID. This is the password of the database, and this is the driver of the database. So these other properties I'm providing for to getting the better logs, nothing more than it. So let me go start from the login. So when admin redirect to the login page, it will ask for the email and password. When you provide the email and password and you click on the login button, then it will invoke the validate form input, which is the first level of validation. So when you forget the put the email or password, it will direct you, or it will show you the alert like please enter the email or password. And so when you submit the login button, it will invoke the admin login servlet. So basically admin login servlet, it's called the user service layer, and it will invoke the login method of the user service. When you see open the login method, so it will get the email and password whatever you provided for the login details, and it will check with the DAO class and it will check the email and password is correct or not. So how I'm checking it is I'm storing the whatever email and password you provide in a map, and I'm querying into database using user check login. So so you can see I'm using name query, user check login. So it will say okay, select the user from user with this email ID and this password. So when we found this email ID and this password has a user, it means the credential is correct and it will return the true. Otherwise it will return the false. So whatever the result boolean value I'm getting, true or false, I'm storing it in the login result. And if I'm getting the login result true, like if the email and password is right, then I'm storing the email in a session. So for the every upcoming request, we don't need to log in again, and so it will validate okay, with this email there is a user, so you don't need to provide a login and password again. And if somehow it fails, then it will redirect again to the login page and with the message login failed. So how am I getting messages? You can see from here. It will show the message here that login failed. Okay, so the login and credential everything is right, then it will redirect to the admin home servlet. So what it admin home servlet does is, so let me open the index, which is the home page. So in home page there is the all other URL, like to creating new product, new user, new category, new customer further, and there is also a header.jsp file contains. So it also contains all the detail of the product, customers, and categories. Like you can view their names, their details, and everything from the admin homepage. um, okay, so it also provides the statistic, like how many user in the database, how many products are in the database, how many customer. So we can like is it helps this data, like this statistic helpful for the scalability purpose in future. If we enhance our application, then this information will be helpful for the admin, so admin can see how many users are there. And so how I'm getting this value, so you can see in the home server, like okay, I'm storing this total user, total products, how the numbers in a session, and I'm getting the value from the session. So I'm calling the DAO class. For example, I want to see how many customers are in the database. So customer DAO count method is called. So when you see the okay, so what it does, it calls the customer dot count all. So if you can see the customers count all, so it will query the like how many counts of the customer in the database. So you can see and store it in the session, and from the session I'm getting in the front end screen. So we admin can see it. Okay, so let me explain the other things. Like okay, uh, if that, for example, if user want to create a new customer, and it will click on the new customer, then it will redirect to the customer form.jsp. If you open the customer form.jsp, so it will prompt you like what is the user customer's email ID, what is his full name, what is the password, and what is the phone number, address, city, and zip code. You can create a customer admin can create the customer. So by providing this detail, and it also validate using the jQuery, like okay, this fields all are requires full name, password, phone number, address of the customer, everything. If these are not match, like if the admin forget to put like addresses or anything, then an appropriate message will be display, like okay, please enter the uh, address and everything. So these are the admin function I'm using. Let me talk about the security. So I'm using the filter as a security. So when the URL with the admin in it, admin and login, admin and anything after admin, so we must need to like we must logged in and admin after any URL with followed by the admin. It so the login admin should be logged in. So if I'm checking the okay, so if the admin is logged in or not. So if admin is not logged in, so it will redirect again to the login.jsp page. Okay, login it, and otherwise, if the customer is logged in, it true. It will become the true, and it will redirect the whatever the page admin want to open. Now let me talk about the front end side, the customer. So where's the front? Okay. So homepage of the so when the front end homepage is called, like let me open the front end homepage. uh, so customer can view this thing, like what are the new products in the database, what is the best selling, and what is the most favorite products. So in the front end side, customer can see the latest products in the very formatted CSS formatted. So I will other than these, I have wrote the test cases, unit test for the test category DAO and user DAO test. So if you can see is like test category DO. So these are the test unit tests I have wrote. Like if I want to test like any of these test case, like okay, let me test the list all, right? So so I'm getting the all the categories that in the database, and it should be a greater than 0 because I know there is a like a two categories in it. Let me show you the categories. So um, let me show you the select start from categories. So okay, sorry, category. Okay, so I know there is a one category in it, laptop call. So it should be a pass. So let me run as a JUnit test. So our test case is passed. So it means our code is right, whatever I wrote. So yeah, this is it. Thank you. Thank you for the watching this.